Morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm gonna talk about overtraining. Now, I was a guilty participant of that, if you'd like to say it that way. When I first started out, I didn't know much. I watched a lot of guys in the gym that were older than me that just, look like bodybuilders. And I watched how they train. Back when I first started, you didn't have all the supplement stuff and fancy machines like hammer strength and all the plate loaded, pin loaded type of varieties you have now. Everything was pretty simple, with dumbbells, barbells, um, collar locks, stuff like that. Um, but what I did is I overtrained a lot because I went in and trained out of emotion. How I got involved in training was I got locked up in DDC, which is Duval Detention Center for juvenile, and I learned from a young guy in there. Most redheaded people, as you'll notice, males are usually really shredded. Remember, Carrot Top. Look when he started working out. They're low in fat and they have fast twitch fiber. Um, Maybe it's that Irish gene in them or what. I don't really know. But this guy, he was just shredded. And I think I was about 15, yeah, because I had my learner's permit driving license, and I learned from him how to do push-ups and crunches, stuff like that. So by the time I got out, and I was 16, I was doing pull-ups and different variety of things like that without weights. But I did it out of emotion. My body changed really quick. I had good genetics, above average, and I noticed to see a difference. One of my downfalls was I did not eat enough, and to recuperate, I was overtraining and not recuperating. Now, some people say, "Well, you can't overtrain." So, you can overtrain if you're not on steroids, and can you overtrain if you're on steroids? I believe, yeah, you can if you're not getting enough rest and the proper foods, the proper proteins back in the carbohydrates to deliver the proteins into the muscles and stuff, and give you the recuperation time. But that's what I did. Then I started at a gym in Normandy in Jacksonville, and I started training. And when I started training, watching the other guys train, the older guys how they train, I learned how to do bench press. Everybody was doing a suicide grip, was what we called it, not the over thumb for bench, because when you do the over thumb, if you can feel it in your forearm, it goes to your front delt. When you do the under thumb suicide grip, they call it. It goes directly to the chest itself. I was able to feel it more that way. That's the way I started, old school style. Um, and a lot of guys do that. If you watch, guys are really good, know what they're doing. Watch them; they'll be suicide grip. Now, machines, a lot of guys will go over thumb. But anyway, I overtrained a lot, and I was not getting enough sleep because I was young. I was hyper, and I was full of myself. Later on, probably when I was about 21, 22, I started dating my first wife. I chilled out some. I wasn't out running around. I wasn't out, just burning time, being at the beach, not getting enough sleep, going to bed late, waking up early, going out and having, surfing, doing whatever. Um, but do I believe there's overtraining? Yeah, I do. Look, I can only speak for myself. But yeah, for me, yeah, overtrained. I never gave my body any downtime because, like I said, I trained off emotion. I trained off of that, that locked in a closet emotion, and that's actually what got me started working out, like I said. But yeah, overtraining, I think so. I think if you can balance, because I believe the sleep, eat, are at least 60% of the ball game. 40% is probably the gym. Probably even less. You're in and out in 45 minutes. Hit it hard and get out. And heavy all the time. I don't know. I think it depends on your genetics. Well, I know it depends on your genetics and how you train. But if you're smart about it, and when you go in the gear, it turns out to be a totally different ball game. So that's about it. Y'all have a great day. I can only speak about my story. It's all I know. I hope that helps some guys. boom.